WION Broadband Olympic Edition, partnered by Kia Sonet. Wild by design. Get ready for a new level of wild. PokerStars, India's home of online poker.
Hello and welcome to the WION Broadband Olympic Edition with me, Digvijay Singhdeo. We are missing the Tokyo Olympics, but we are celebrating the best of India at the Olympic Games. I'm joined now by two legends of Indian sport, both of whom were there at the Athens Olympics, which turned out to be a significant milestone in the history of Indian sport. Suma Shirur joins me from Bombay in her very first Olympics. She reached the Olympic final, and her sport of shooting saw independent India's first silver medalist in Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore. Mahesh Bhupathi also joins me from Mumbai, and for him the games ended in heartbreak as he and Leander Paes agonizingly fell short of a medal at the final hurdle. Mahesh, let me start with you. In hindsight, when you look back after all these years, do you think that Athens was sort of the coming of age for Indian sport, considering the fact that we started to win medals, but more importantly, we started to contend in a lot more other disciplines?
Yeah, I guess yes and no. I mean, for me, Atlanta, when Leander won the bronze, I think was, the start of it all. I think the following Olympics, Malik a medal, which again was obviously a different event from tennis. So, I think it believe, obviously when Chile won the silver, and then, Abhinav, I mean, there was kind of a reinvention or resurgence or discovery of shooting as a sport in our country and how dominant we could be. So yeah, I mean, today, we've reached a stage where we actually believe, going into any Olympics that, we should come back, with a bag full of medals across sport.
Yeah, Subha, just to touch on what Mahesh said, it was the start of shooting's run, wasn't it? And, it all actually, if you look at it, it all came together at Athens because the road to Athens actually started with Anjali Bhagwat reaching the final in Sydney, and then those 16 gold medals which the Indian shooting team won at the Commonwealth Games in 2002.
Especially for shooting, Athens was important because it was the first time that we won quota places. Till then, it was always, Indian shooting, we always got a wild card or, a hardship quota. But I think in Athens, it was the first time that we won so many quotas. So that is what made it special, that we actually had the, the entire team, we had our skill levels to a certain level where we could beat the world. So this was the first of its sort. And with the number of quota places, and not only that, we had 3 finalists and Rajyavardhan winning the silver. So I think it was the first of its kind where we came up to that level in such a way that it was, we were really almost at the top. So I think Athens was really, really very special, and it took Indian shooting at the start block for, many more medals in the coming Olympics.
Mahesh, but in contrast, Suma talks about how it was the start for shooting, but in contrast for you, you reached Athens extremely battle-hardened. Your first Olympics was 96, where, as you mentioned, Leander won that medal. Since then, you went on and, won a Grand Slam, the first for India. You and Leander then, went on that run in 99. You all were world number 1. You all had 1 Grand Slams. You all had 2 Olympics under your belt, and you all reached Athens sort of as favorites for a gold medal.
Yeah. And, we came pretty close. I think, we got to the semis, lost a bad match, but then we came pretty close in the bronze medal match. So, yeah, I mean, if everything went by how favorites perform and come back with medals, then I think India is going to come back with 20 shooting medals in Tokyo. So that's not the way sport works.
Yeah, Mahesh, I know this. Despite that, I know how hard it is for you to reconcile with that. We've spoken about it in the past, but just talking about that, because Suma is also here, and one of the most memorable performances in that Olympics was the beating of Federer in West Allegro. Suma, in fact, went to see you and Leander play that match as well, and then it was a pretty impressive start, and Federer remembered that. I remember him telling us 4 years later that he remembered that defeat all too well.
So we had obviously a tough draw. When we saw the draw, we were like, playing Roddick first, and then Roger, and they we got through the tough ones. But I think if we put all four semi-finalists back in a hat, 100 times out of 100 times, I think 98 or 99 times we would probably end up with a medal in that scenario. But that was how the cookie crumbled then.
Yeah, I remember you also telling me, Mahesh, that of the 4 teams which reached the semis, you all were the only specialist doubles team, and sadly, you all were the only ones who didn't return with the medal.
Yeah, again, like I said, I don't think that would happen again if we put us in the same scenario. But I mean, pressure does different things to different people in such situations. And like I said, we had a terrible semi-final. That was only our fault and our blame. But the bronze medal match was not even 1 point here and there. It was quarter point here and there. I think we had it on our strings, but those guys came up with the goods. They were serving really big that day.
Earlier, when you went to the Olympic, it was all about hockey. But Leander and Mahesh at that point of time were the team to follow one day. They were the sort of the biggest names in Indian sport at that point of time heading into those games.
Yeah, very much, because I remember in Athens, at least we had Leander and Mahesh who boast about, as a team, because they were already champions. We were still at the start block, trying to, we are on our way to becoming one. And with Leander's medal and with their team ranking, I think they were really champions for the Indian team at that point of time. And I remember feeling so good, watching. And theirs was a match that it was already pre-decided. Okay, this is a match we're going to go and watch. So for the entire team, it was nice to have them, and it was what was important is the understanding that yes, we have champions amongst us, and we are with them. So we also have it in us. So it actually, irrespective of what they feel about the results, of course, it was heartbreaking. But irrespective of that, I think it's very important for the morale of the team when you have when you have people who've done that and who are champions. It's very important for the morale of the team in terms of that we can do it and that we have to do it. So I think it was wonderful having this kind of a mood in the team because of the presence of an already successful tennis team too.
Yeah, Mahesh, she talks about how she was at the starting block in a sense, but I don't know if you know this, that Suma actually qualified for the Olympic Games right at the last competition, which was the Asian Championship. She actually qualified with a world record. She didn't have a place to train, so a shop somewhere in Navi Mumbai was converted into a makeshift shooting range. Peak summer months, Suma had to finally install an air conditioner there because she couldn't train. Then she left, I think your son was about a year. She actually left her 1-year-old son and then went and trained abroad in Austria for that last month. So Suma was sort of like completely out of a film script, isn't it?
Yes, actually. There were no ranges with electronic targets, and we were directly shooting on electronic targets at the Olympics. So we had to get used to it. So that's the first time that I was one of the, like Abhinav already had it. I think I was only the second one to have an electronic target, installing it at home. And since my house didn't have a very free 10-meter, space in terms of getting the length for the target, some, well-wishers, they had a shop vacant. So, we installed the target temporarily in a shop. And I would go inside, close the shutter, and it was just me and myself. And I had to create an environment in my mind, in terms of, use the mind, visualization, in terms of how it's going to be at the Olympics. So that was a training that was really like the lockdown situation I feel right now. And but the entire journey was so wonderful because it was first time, new things that we were doing with a goal in mind. And and my goal when I had to qualify for the Olympics was that I want to go to the Olympics as a top seed. I don't want to go like just qualified. So even in the qualification, it was that drive that helped me bring out my best, and I actually made a world record. So when I went into the Olympics, I was already in the mood that I want to enter as a top seed. That really helped me with my mindset. So I think even that helped me get into the finals. So the entire training was a lot about the mind over the body and the mind over the circumstances, and beating everything with your mind was what was our strength, I think. And given everything that we had gone through, I think it was wonderful journey reaching the Olympics, and even with my son back home, and talking to him about it, and all wonderful memories. At the end of it, I think, of course, we all want to win, but I enjoyed the journey as well, and really happy with the way the entire thing unfolded eventually.
Mahesh, every sport is different. Shooting, very different. You have to sort of go through a qualification, win a quota place. Not like that in tennis because, your world ranking is sort of gets you into the Olympic Games. So when you approached an Olympic Games, what was the kind of preparations you had to do? Was it more mental? Because, you play day in, day out on the tour, unlike the other sports.
I think with tennis also, you need to qualify at a certain ranking to get in. Obviously, if you're ranked high enough, you want to then make sure you're ranking high enough to get seeded, because that obviously gives you certain advantages possibly. But yeah, otherwise, for us, Olympics comes once in 4 years. It's another event in the calendar. So, we obviously, because of the nature of the tour, we're able to get a lot of preparation in, because always at the Summer Olympics, it's right after Wimbledon, right before the US Open. So everybody's coming in with a lot of matches and playing well. So it's always, it's tough.
Suma spoke about her journey to the Olympic final and how she sort of, she once told me that, she knew she could have shot better, but she was content. There was another near miss for Indian shooting as well at those games. And it's someone you know pretty well. This is Abhinav I'm talking about, Abhinav Bindra. And Abhinav always maintains that he shot much better in Athens than he did in Beijing 4 years later. But for him to turn around the wreckage that was that horror final in Athens and then go on and do what he did in Beijing sort of completely tells you, the kind of focus that man had.
Any of us who know Abhinav well enough know he's got a unique, he is unique, and secondly, he's got a unique mindset. So yeah, I mean, to achieve, greatness, you got to have that, I think, differentiator in your head. I mean, because, sport in general is not only about heart and ability, it's lot to do with the mindset and how you handle pressure and how you're able to deal with adversity and losses. And the way he dealt with it, I mean, is a case study after that setback to kind of turn it around and put all the kind of things in place he did for the next 4 years to make sure that he won that gold. So it's an incredible story, and yeah, he doesn't get enough credit for how he was able to do that.
Suma, another conversation I remember with you, this is about you and Abhinav actually sitting and discussing your performances at those Olympics while watching Rathore compete for his final. This was in the double track.
Yes, and even for me, when I think of Athens, that conversation is something that I'll always remember. Abhinav made it to the finals, I made it to the finals, but both of us couldn't make it to the podium. So there we were, watching Rathore's match, Rajyavardhan's final match, with our own sob stories, Oh, and how Abhinav goes, I want to quit. Obviously, because he was so disappointed after having made an Olympic record, in terms of the qualifying score, and then not winning it. He qualified at number 3, and then not winning it was heart-wrenching. So he was obviously very upset, and so was I, and we were both really sharing our sob stories as to how it was so disappointing. And as we were in that conversation, slowly we realized, oh my God, I think Rajyavardhan is going to win it. And we suddenly, I remember both of us just quiet and watching, and he actually won it. So it was fantastic. And then we go and we congratulated him. And it really, for a moment, we just forgot that, we were sharing our sob stories about 5 minutes ago. So everything was vanished, and at the end of the day, it was the shooting and the whole team that kind of rejoiced with that. So yes, it was very special moment.
Yes, Mahesh, one doesn't associate you too much with emotion, but I know you're a pretty sentimental person. When Abhinav won the gold in Beijing, you sort of screamed all over and danced all around your apartment. And then, when you met him, you actually took his medal, put it around your neck. For you, memories of Rathor's medal, because at that point of time, your tennis competition was still on, so you were still in competition. But sort of, how do you remember that medal and the celebrations in the Indian camp?
I think firstly they have two very different personalities. So it's hard to get Abhinav to smile. So Chili's a little more laid back, but obviously super disciplined as well. So I don't remember Athens that well, except that I remember that everybody, including the chef de mission and everyone, was at the lobby when Chile came back. I think Abhinav was a little more subdued because that was by choice. I mean, we were trying to get him all riled up and shake a leg at least, but he wasn't having any of it.
Mahesh, all your career, you, Suma, the rest of your generation, you all sort of tried to batter down that sort of invisible barrier that had been holding us back. When Rathod won that medal, and it was a progression, it was a silver medal, there was this great euphoria. Did you sort of get an inkling that this is when Indian sport is really going to change? As you said, you came back, you set up the Champions Trust as well. You thought that we were then poised to take the next step?
There's a shortage of talent in India, right? That's a fact. I mean, if you just play the numbers game, it's a fact. I mean, today, we also should not expect our system in India to constantly throw out champions. I think thankfully over the last decade or so, we've had an incredible amount of private help, be it the Mittal Champions Start or ASW or Olympic Gold Quest and other such initiatives. I think that is what's propelling sport in India, right? I mean, we're moving in the right direction, but not as fast as we should be. I mean, for the amount of talent that doesn't transition from talented kids who world beaters at the main stage, that's still abysmal. I mean, if you just look at tennis, which is probably one of the main global sports today in the world. I mean, if a Japanese and a Chinese girl or guy can win Grand Slams, why isn't an Indian girl even in the top 100? I mean, it just doesn't make logical sense, right? So Asians can do it. Why aren't Indians being able to do it across sports? So, yeah, but I mean, India's got different challenges that government has to look at. So, I mean, we got to play the cards we're dealt with.
Suma, at that point of time, you also, I think, were part of the Mittal Champions Trust at a certain point of time. But those games, one of the reasons why I love talking about Athens, because it was about the performances across the board. There was some great performances in athletics. Anju Bobby George went in as a favorite. She had sort of, been very consistent on the world stage in women's long jump. She was the flag bearer at those Olympic Games for India. She actually qualified. She went into the final, gave her best. Unfortunately, she wasn't well, but she still reached the final. It was a huge thing in Olympic final in athletics after PT Usha.
That performance also busted the myths that we are not good in athletics, because I think that's the belief that the entire generation has grown with, that the Indian body is not suitable for athletics and that we can't do it at a big stage and we don't have it in our system. So I think Anju really busted that myth and making the finals, and that was something, I think that was a very, very important barrier for the mind of the entire population that believes that Indians can't do well in athletics. So it was a very important milestone that she made, and I do hope that it's that milestone that the entire sport carries and overcomes over time. So it was a very important thing, and similarly, that how we did it in shooting, that can't perform at a big stage. But we kind of busted that myth in Athens that no, we can do it. Even at a big stage, we can stand the pressure and we can actually win. So I think a lot of these myths were taken out from the sport, and in that aspect, I think Athens was truly a landmark.
What Athens also did was it sort of ended this long obsession in India about hockey. That hockey mein medal aayega, we'll win a medal in hockey. Because when you just look back today and look at the sort of Indian champions who went to Athens and then built on that. I actually sort of noted this down. There was Gagan Narang there at his first Olympics, Akhil Kumar in boxing, Vijinder in boxing, Sushil and Yogeshwar in wrestling, Manavjit Sandhu and Abhinav 2 years from there went on and, sort of won world championships in shooting. So again, that's why Athens is sort of has a significant sort of a place in Indian sport.
Bunch of, I would say, emerging champions in the context of Indian sport. So, like you said, success and failure does, weird things to athletes. And, the fact that they were not able to achieve success there, but they used it as a learning platform to go ahead and do in their careers, I think that was quite amazing.
Okay, with that, we've come to the end of this cracking conversation. In fact, I have been interacting with the both of you since those 2004 Olympics. So this took me back to my rookie years. Thank you so much for suffering me all these years. And, it's you two have been great champions of Indian sport. And really, thank you so much for taking out time and just helping me look back to what has been an incredible journey of Indian sport, which sort of started in Atlanta and then carried on, and we saw an explosion post Athens. Thank you so much.
WION Broadband Olympic Edition, partnered by Kia Sonet, Wild by Design. Get ready for a new level of wild. PokerStars, India's home of online poker.